Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you live. Welcome to MD's live coverage, wrapping up the judging at the Empro Spain show over in Alicante, Spain. Joining me on this lovely morning, Giles Tiger Thomas, all the way from what part of the UK are you in, Giles? I mess this up every time.
Yorkshire.
And behind the scenes, she's been up since 4 a.m. Jen Geraci up in Long Island.
Thank you very much, Ron. Pleasure to be with you and Giles today.
Because I did some calculations, and it's 6 hours ahead and behind are actually two different things I found out. It was supposed to start at 3 in the morning. Judging didn't really kick off till 5 in the morning Eastern, but it's all over now, guys. Michael Krizo, known as Krizo. This was the show he was supposed to qualify for the Olympiad. Right now, it looks like he's got that qualification locked up unless something seriously changes. Now, I haven't seen the footage. Jen and Giles have been watching, so I'm going to be reacting to this live with you guys. This is the first I've seen of it. But Giles, give me a quick summary of the men's open judging before we even get into it.
Who do I start with?
Krizo.
Oh my God! I honestly, this was a huge level up for Krizo. He was better. I mean, so much better than he was at Prague when I was there last year. So much better than he was at Olympia. This is a completely different Krizo. He's more conditioned.
I'm going to interrupt because I think it'd be cool. Jen, would you be able to? Do you have his individual? You can have that up while Giles is talking about him.
I do. Just give me a second to get that for you.
Yeah, so Giles is going to be describing aspects of physique. People love the footage. You guys have let us know you want the footage. We're giving you the footage. That's why we have Tech Whiz Jen. I'm not going to do it. Krizo looks insane. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Turns out my son did not wish me a happy Father's Day from Australia, but then I found out it's not till September in Australia. So there you go.
Oh, wow.
Totally different day. All right. So, but U.S. dads, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads who aren't around anymore. All that good stuff. So we're just waiting on footage, but that's going to be coming up in a minute. But Giles, you know, you've talked so many times about things don't translate from Instagram or YouTube to what we see on stage that day. That's more often than not the case. What the heck is that? Yankees? What's she putting up? Jen's putting up baseball stuff. But Krizo really delivered. This is by far the best Krizo you've ever seen, Giles?
Unbelievable. I mean, he's got the separation of a 70-kilo guy. It's funny because one of the commentators said, "Oh, I'm still not impressed with his condition," and I was like, "What? His skin is paper thin. His separation. He's got, and it's not just separation in one area and the other area is like filled and and bloated. Everything's really separated. The skin's paper thin. His condition is incredible. I mean, everything. A stripy delts. I mean, when he does the most muscular." Everything, all the separation between the tricep and the brachialis, and everything comes in. And this is at a show with the lighting ain't great. And even still, with all that being said, he still looks absolutely incredible. So, I mean, the glutes, the hamstrings, everything. And the thing is, he's going to look a lot better for the night show as well, because he always fills out a lot. And I was so happy to see that he finally sorted his 10 out. So, because I was worried, because he really messed up at the Olympia and Prague. But this looks he looks like a proper polished top 6 Olympia guy now. So I think
you said it.
I know. I think he's moving up this year. I mean, there's no way I think even top 10 is. I think he could be pushing up to top 6 now. I think he could be a 5th, 6th place guy if he really keeps improving like this. But I think he needed to do this. I think he needed to come back big. And he's not better. He's not bigger, but he's so much better. He looks really head to toe. The finesse of this guy's physique is that you won't recognize him, mate, honestly. And I know he'll look even better to tonight.
I'm looking at the small version on the screen already. I could see the tan. The tan was sorted, and that makes such a big difference, especially with a really big guy with great crisp separation and detail like that. If they don't come in with the proper color, it really takes away from the physique. So, props to him, his coach, Alexander, whoever figured out the contest color situation deserves an extra pat on the back today. If we can't pull him up by himself, we could go to the first call out, Jen, to fill up the screen. Yeah. So this was a much tougher lineup than the show that he qualified last year, the EVLS Prague Pro.
Yep.
People were just talking about Krizo, but on the MD Global Muscle show and on your Instagram, you've been showing a few other guys the last couple weeks that look phenomenal. Peter Klankir from Croatia was looking like a front runner. Andrea Presti from Italy, of course, no joke. And the young guy from Poland who you just had on Global Muscle, Christian Wolski. And of course, yeah, don't forget Emir Omaragic. This guy's phenomenal. But which one of those guys really delivered today? Which one of them really didn't hit the mark so far?
Well, Presti, when he first came out, I thought I was actually disappointed. I was like, I think he looked better last year. But then as he started to pose, he started to come alive. And once you saw him next to Krizo, I was like, okay, he does actually look very, very good. I can't put my finger on it yet, but he just looked slightly different. I think it's because I've seen him a little bit drier and a little bit sharper, but he was nice and full. Chest was bursting. But next to Krizo, he lacked size and separation next to someone like Krizo, who has every box ticked. So Presti, I think Presti's got second here today.
Oh.
I would say second at best, third at worst. In terms of disappointment, I was disappointed with Emir Omaragic. He overspilled. I mean, he just came in. I think he just tried to come in too full and too big because even his face looked. He looked like you need to go do a show in a few more weeks and drop 6 to 8 pounds. But he was like, I think he was second or third call out. He wasn't. His physique is great, but he was basically too heavy. Okay. Christian Wolski was third call out. I was a bit disappointed by that. Just needs a bit more chest.
Yeah.
Had some good shots. Legs look great, but he's just, like I said, next to some of these other bigger guys, he definitely lacked that kind of upper body thickness and fullness. But he's better than he was before. But I'd like to see him do more shows in the next few weeks because I think he needs to do that to get a little bit drier and fuller and get the combination right.
Luckily, there's plenty of shows, especially in Europe. Plenty. So, okay. This looks to be the first call out we're looking at now. So that is the gentleman on the left there was Wellington, Fernando Bautista from Brazil.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So a lot of people seem to have him in third behind Presti.
Yeah.
So we got Wellington.
And with Wellington, because you were in Australia when the Arnold Brazil, when he got second in the Arnold Brazil.
Right.
To Berus Tabani.
Oh, there we go. Good.
And Wellington, it's funny because I saw a picture of him yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or was it today, on thing. And I looked at the picture and I thought, oh, he looks small. He looks too small. I think he's come down too far. He's going to get blown away. And I was completely wrong because when he came out, his shape was so good. He's a really beautiful physique. I mean, he still needs a little bit more size in the upper body, but I tell you what, the genetic shape on this guy is absolutely stunning. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, they just moved him. I'm looking at that. They just moved everyone to the center that they wanted in the center. So you have Krizo, and then Presti next to him, and next to him on the left again we have Wellington. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he gave up. I didn't see the Brazil show. I did see some pictures and some things on Instagram. Doesn't look like he came in smaller to me. He looks really conditioned. Now, yeah. Presti, you said you've seen Presti better. You think this is like an 85, maybe 90% Presti we're looking at? Yeah,
I've seen him better. But he keeps, when he actually started to pose, he started to fill out and look better. He kind of drew my eye a little bit more. But when he first came out, I was like, ooh, I think he might struggle to make top 3 here. Because he's won a lot of pro shows. He's a very, very experienced competitor. But I've got a feeling he's going to look better as the shows go on. I think he needs more. This is like a warm-up show for him. I think this is like 85%, and I think the next few weeks, because he won Portugal last year, wasn't it? So if he goes back, I think maybe he'll try and nail it for that. But he's just not quite crisp. And the thing is, next to Krizo, who's absolutely nailed the conditioning. I mean, someone said on the comments there, it's nice to see like chest striations and detail in the shoulders and the stripiness. And sorry, go talk about Krizo now.
Well, I mean, he's on screen. He just did the back shots, and you were talking about his rear delt bicep is greatly improved, and I agree. That was his weakest shot last year.
That was condition. That wasn't even size.
I mean, he looked when he turned around last year, he looked about 20% smaller to me than he did from the front. And now he's got that 3D look where all angles, he's thick and balanced and properly proportioned. Yeah, I mean, this is a great portend for him. I think he's going to do much, much better at the Olympia this year than he did last year. I
honestly think he could jump into the top 6 this year. I think he could be like a 5th, 6th place guy at the Olympia. I think maybe one of the other two guys maybe will, the guys that always make the top six will maybe move out. And I think he's got a potential to sort of leapfrog him, because if he's making these kinds of improvements in 6, 7, 8 months, and I think he's on a roll now.
So is that the gentleman in the blue that's still there? Is that Jose in the blue trunks with the big, looks like they got rid of him too.
21 years old. I think he's got fourth.
Wow. 21 years old. Wow. That's got to be I can't remember the last time we had a good pro at 21 years old.
Emir?
No, I mean, within the last 30 years, I can't remember anybody.
Rich Kaspari?
Oh, that was 40 years ago.
No, Amir was 22, wasn't he? He was getting second in top threes and shows.
True. That's true. Yeah, so good for him. That is Jose Manuel Munoz from Spain. Because anytime you have a show in one of these countries, you get a lot of the local pros. And, I don't expect much from them. I know how horrible that sounds. But it's a good chance for someone that hasn't had a lot of recognition or hype to really prove himself and get a good look. And I never heard of this Jose Manuel Munoz until today, and very impressed with what I see so far.
I saw a couple of pictures, and I wasn't thinking, oh, this guy could be really a real threat. But the commentator was when he came out by himself, he was like, wow, he says, I wouldn't argue if they gave him the show. And I was like, really? Is he even going to be first call out? But the thing is, sometimes you don't know how these guys look until they're stood next to the guys next to them. I understand from the photos and what I was seeing in the lead-up, I thought Peter Clancier was going to be pushing Krizo. But when he actually got next to Krizo and he was in that first call out, he just kind of didn't draw the eye. He just really did. He didn't pop like I expected him to, So there's a lot of surprises in this one. There was guys that kind of looked better than from what we saw in the lead up, and there was other guys that were the opposite. So it's been quite an interesting show actually for this one.
Dan, are we able to look at any of the individuals of these guys? I'd like to look at Wellington because let's look at Wellington because he's a guy I've never really had a great look at. I want to see what all the fuss is about.
Beautiful physique. His side chest, Ron. Have a look at his side chest and his quads and the clean separation. He's got a really nice. I think give Wellington another year or two, and I think he's going to be. I think he could be one of Brazil's absolute best athletes ever.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at him on Instagram, and everybody looks amazing by themselves in the gym with the great lighting, the pump. Okay, well there we go. Wellington Fernando, different name. No, Wellington Fernando Baptista. It looks like they dropped the Baptista. Yeah, here he is going to that side chest you talked about.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, isn't it?
He's got the ham drop. Nice sweep to the hams from the side. Big beefy arms. That's guys, you could do hashtag stripy delts on pictures when you see somebody with stripy delts.
This is what we want to see. We don't want to see filled delts.
But you have to tag Giles when you do that.
Yeah, but doesn't it look? The thing is, you got all these guys. When they do these like Krizo now, when he does his raidable bicep. I mean, I do look at his back, but I just look at his shoulders and his arms because the separation and all the detail, all the fibers twitching. It's so impressive with that amount of size, and when they've got that level of condition and separation, it takes it to a whole new level.
Cool. Can we look at Presti real quick, Jen? So I'm curious why people have him. Yeah, why people have him beating Wellington. I'm a fan of Presti, big fan of physique. And Culturismo Italiano tags me about 1,000 times a day on pictures of him. So thank you, Culturismo Italiano, on Instagram.
Yeah, I think Presti's got a solid second, and just to see how he looks tonight.
Yeah, and okay, cool. All right, so here we go, Presti. Presti's so thick in those front shots, the shoulders, the chest, the arms, just a massive, wide man.
Very wide, isn't he? His shoulders are incredible. And his back shots are very impressive as well, because he's got like a three-dimensional back.
Yeah, the back is one of the things that I noticed about this guy the first time I saw him a couple of years ago. Geez, I mean, the condition looks pretty damn great to me.
I give him a couple of weeks. I think he'll win his Portugal.
Good. I have my calendar because there's a show some weekends there are two shows. So Portugal is Mr. Big Evolution, the Mr. Big Evolution Portugal Pro, Giles. Let's not get that twisted. July 9th, So how many weeks away is that? This 1,
2.
2, it's 3 weeks away.
He'll win that. He'll win that. I think he'll peak perfectly for that, and I think he'll steal that one.
Then we have Vancouver Pro next weekend, Chicago Pro the weekend after that, another pro show in Spain the weekend after that. Ooh. Tampa, Texas. What a great bodybuilding year, you guys.
Ron, people are asking about what we think about Roman Fritz.
We're gonna have to take a look at him, I guess. What I did see on Instagram so far is his upper body has gotten better. It still needs to be a little bit bigger to match those legs, but condition looked amazing as usual.
I've seen him sharper. I've seen him sharper.
Mm. It's funny because the footage people take from the first couple rows with their iPhones is better in a lot of cases than the live streams. So Roman, the footage I saw Roman on Instagram looked crazy. So this is Christian Wolski.
Yep.
23 years old from Poland.
No, he's not 23. He's older.
Older, okay.
He's 30. What did they say? I had him on Global last week. I can't remember his age. 30,
I don't know why I think everyone's 23 years old today. But
I'd like to see more chest on him.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. When the hands go up overhead, it kind of flattens out.
Legs are fantastic.
Absolutely. Look at the sweep.
Yeah,
he's got that sort of shades of Rami sweep, that crazy outer bulge to the vastus lateralis, as we say. Okay. Who else do we want to take a look at? So we have Jen for call-outs. We just had the first call-out, or did you get the last one too? Okay. Let's take a look at the last call-out if we could. And apologies to the second call-out guys, but
do you want me to run through what I think the placings are going to be?
Absolutely. Give us your top. Do you have a whole? Can you go all the way down to top 5?
Hang on. Yeah. First Krizo.
Oh. Yep.
Second Presti.
Yep.
Third Wellington.
Yep.
Fourth Jose.
Yeah.
Fifth. I would give it to Roman, and then sixth Clancier. But fifth Clancier and Roman could switch places. That could be fifth and sixth. That's basically what I've seen on the prejudging today. But like I said, it could change tonight. But I actually think Krizo will widen the gap even further tonight, because he always seemed, because he wasn't bursting full, but he didn't need to be for the prejudging, because his condition and his separation was so good. So I think when he comes a little bit fuller tonight, I think he's going to look absolutely insane.
What were they also knocking? That he had no glute development last year?
Well, so what? Glutes are shredded.
No, that's what I'm saying. They look. I don't think they need to be much bigger than that. Yeah, you look at the ham drop on. So it's crazy.
Do you know what I like about Krizo? He's got conditioning in every area of his body. Sometimes you get guys who will have a bit of, like Andrea Presti's got really good separation in his arms, and his chest is nice and full, but there's no striations in his chest. And it looks kind of weird. They've got this bit's conditioned, that bit's smooth, that bit's conditioned, that bit's separated. But Krizo is like top to toe, like from his neck down to his ankles. Every area is flickering. I mean, I can't imagine what he looks like up close.
Yeah, because that's been, we've seen that, like, we knocked on Derek Lunsford in the past because certain areas of his physique weren't as striated, like the arms, the shoulders. So when somebody has it, like you said, head to toe, every muscle group, crisp, clear, detailed, and you have somebody with that kind of size and shape. Yeah, he's got this all locked up as far as it looks to me.
Yeah.
But so that's definitely your top 5 right there.
And we've got to give props to that Jose. I mean, my God, that kid, 20. Imagine being 21 and being in a first call out in your first pro show. Oh, also, I completely forgot about Joan Pradels. I think he's kind of maybe squeezing in 6th. I don't know. Maybe he can squeeze into 6th. But he looked really good. I mean, that's his first pro show. He's got a huge fan base. Very, very, very popular. He's kind of like the Spanish Nick Walker, in terms of how much, like when he came out, the audience was absolutely crazy for him. So he looked really, really good. I mean, I saw him when he turned pro at this in Spain last year, I think it was. And he's made a lot of improvements in a year. So I think he's very young as well. He's only in his 20s, but he's a guy that really want to keep an eye out on as well. Joan Pradels.
Yeah, we're looking at him now, but they're doing crazy things with the lighting. Like they think it's a It's a Pink Floyd concert or something. Wow, look at the
I hope they put the aircon on, because I remember me and Lauren doing the live stream there in 2021, and I was dying.
Really, no air conditioning. Jeez.
Oh, just,
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, good. I never heard of him before, but I've never even seen that name before. I've seen a lot of Juans, Juan. I've never seen Joan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, he's very popular, a huge following.
Radels Martinez. Wow. Okay. No relation to Emilio's last name is Martinez too, right? Fairly. It's a somewhat common name in the Latino world, though. Martinez.
Emilio,
Man.
yeah.
Emilio, yeah. What somebody said? Somebody said something crazy. Said, crazy how bodybuilder heights were average of 5'8" 20 years ago, and now 6 to 6'1" is average. No, it's not. It's not average at all. There's not that many guys over 6'5". There's a few for sure, but yeah. Get rid of 212 and go back to. Okay, good. So here's Roman.
That's good.
Yeah, Roman's got great shape.
I don't think he peaked for this one, though. I think he's going to maybe be like Andrea Presti. He'll peak in a few weeks.
It's crazy when you say that, because look, the glutes are straight, the hams are all dug out. But you've seen him even leaner than this, as have I. You've seen him a lot more than I have. I've only seen him, maybe 3 times. Yeah, but he looks great. So you think maybe 5th place? He's fighting for 5th right now.
Yeah, I think 5th is between Clancia, Roman, and Jean Pradel.
Okay, fair enough. But Krizo looking like the favorite, guys. I mean, no surprise. But it's good to see he had some better competition today, because if he had just steamrolled over a bunch of guys that were easy to beat for him, it wouldn't be a good indication of anything positive for Olympia other than the improvements that we've seen him make. But he beat he right now it looks like he's beating some really good guys. Presti's no joke. This Jose kid is really good, and Wellington very, very good as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of good guys. I like to see there's a lot of new guys here for the future. Do you know what I mean? There's a new generation coming through. Jean Pradel, Jose. There's who else? Wellington. I like to see these new faces making an instant impact, because it just makes the show so much more exciting. Because Jose and Joan, I didn't really see as any sort of threat for the top 6 coming into this show, but I think they're going to be, I think they're really going to crack it.
I mean, we've been saying that the one thing that was one of the things that made Classic so appealing in the past few years was every year there'd be all these new breakout stars, where the Open was getting kind of stale. There's a lot of the same faces and names that we've been seeing for years and years. Past couple of years, though, we've been seeing, even at the Olympia level, we've seen. Look at that. But I mean, let's pull that up if we could.
German Pastor, he'll win the Classic. He looks fantastic.
Okay, so we're going to Classic Physique. First call out. Pretty good size lineup here. Looks like about 20 more guys. But you guys have German Pastor Cueto from Spain right now as a front runner for Classic.
And it was a really good class as well. Very, very, a lot of new faces. Everyone was in condition. Very impressive class.
Yeah, and who would you say was his toughest competition today? The names I'm looking at, the only one I really know is Junior Jaworski.
He was second call out. He was second call out.
Wow.
Yeah. He was because he came out and I was like, wow, he was second at the New York Pro, and he wasn't even first call out. And at first call out had about 6-7 guys, and I think they were all Spanish. I mean, there was a lot of new faces in that first call out, and I was so impressed. There's going to be a lot of new Classic superstars coming out of this one, I tell you.
Yeah, that's, we got countries represented are Germany, Colombia, a lot of guys from Spain. We got someone from Aruba, someone from the United Kingdom, Spain again. Oh, Camilo's in Florida now, but he's originally from Argentina.
I think Camilo was second or third call. I think Camilo was second call out.
So is German this taller guy that I'm looking at right now?
No, the shorter guy.
Oh, the shorter guy next to him. Wow, he looks great too.
Yeah. He's got a crazy wide shoulders, small waist, so wide back.
The tall guy reminds me of Jamie the Giant. Look at him.
He had the tall guy had a very nice physique, actually. Very nice physique. Very balanced.
See the shape, just the structure and shape from what I'm looking at is phenomenal. But so that's German is second from the left. This is German Pastor, who's actually from Spain, not Germany. German Pastor Cueto. So they're putting him in the middle here.
Yeah.
Always a good sign. So when the head judge tells you who they like. Yeah. Getting into all that whole debate. Huh. Okay, so they're who's that? Wellington Fernando? I don't know how many Wellingtons they got, for God's sake. Oh, I mean, on the score sheet, his name is Wellington Fernando Baptista. On the screen, they dropped the Batista. He was just Wellington Fernando. All right, let's check these. Fish?
Well, you know, I'm
Is that
muted,
like
so no
copy
one
of him?
heard what I just said. But they call him
Oh, so
Wellington
they-
Niscal because it's his nickname. Niscal.
Oh, Wellington. So Wellington's nickname is Nascau. Whatever.
Niscal, yeah.
We don't speak Portuguese, so we have no idea what that
No,
refers
Miguel
to.
told
But
me what it is. It's Niscal is like chocolate, like a really
Oh,
sweet
chocolate.
chocolate. And
like
that's his nickname. It basically means sweet chocolate or something to that
the
effect.
Wellington's nickname is Nascau, which roughly translates to sweet chocolate. Okay. I think a better nickname would be sexual chocolate, but what are you going to do?
Oh, there you go.
The Wellington for
Eddie Murphy.
yeah, Wellington's great. So it's tough to gauge the condition here, but he looks. Yeah, I can see the ridges on the glutes. Of course, you always got to focus on the glutes when you're talking about condition. It's just the way it is, guys. But yeah, nice lat spread. I want to see this Wellington guy do some US shows because I don't know if I've ever seen him.
You know,
They did
Miguel
honorable
told
show.
me, Miguel told me, didn't mean to interrupt Giles, but he said that, you know, he personally thinks that Niscal is going to start making some serious waves over the next couple of months.
Yeah, he could. He's got a hell of a physique on him.
Mm-hmm. It's
And
funny, I
Pierce-
saw some pictures on, like I said, on Instagram backstage, and I just thought he looks too small. And as soon as he walked out, he did that first call out, he stood out. He looked really, really good. He really held his own against a monster like Krizo. So, you know, if a guy with a, you know, that's a lot smaller with such a beautiful shape and structure can, you know, not get annihilated. I mean, he's going to get beat, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to get blown off the stage.
Yeah, I mean, to hold your own against Krizo, a much improved Michael Krizonik, that's no easy feat. So props to this guy, Wellington Nascau. Let's see. Let's see if we have anything cool from the chat that they need to have answered from us while we're here. Krizo be in top. Will Krizo be in top 5, Mr. O? Of course he will. And then all the people get mad. How dare you? Top 5 is so. He's not in my top 5, so therefore he can't be. Mark, it feels refreshing to see a bodybuilder like Krizo with proper chest striations coming through. It's getting rare. Yes.
Totally.
And the chest development. He's got one of the best chests in the sport right now, I think.
Absolutely. And the back
so
this
does-
time around. His back. Did you guys see his back?
Yeah, I mean that's his. I always thought as soon as he's only been around the scene for a year. He just switched over from the other IFBB, but for him to do that, to have improved that much since the Olympia, he hasn't had much time. The Olympia was in December. We're talking here in June. He probably had about 2-3 months of an off season before he had to start prepping for this. So good job to him.
He refined everything, Ron. He refined everything. I'd love to know how much lighter he is because he looks. I mean, think of it, everything's popping, and he wasn't bursting full at the prejudging. So wait till you see him tonight. I think he's going to blow minds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Totally.
it goes to show you, coming in bigger, fuller, as a lot of guys want to do. Typically not the best strategy.
No.
Someone with that kind of size does not need to be full and bursting. He needs to be shredded and dry and separated, and that's when you're really blown away. That's the wow factor.
Honestly, it was the kind of condition you seldom see in the pros nowadays, and being the real, especially the really big open pros. You don't see that level of separation and conditioning anymore. And like I said, every single area is dry and striated, and he doesn't look flat and stringy. He looks good. He looks really, really good. I'm so impressed.
Yeah. So someone says Presley could have been drier. Someone says Presto is the best. Let's see. Jerome B said Presley needs to bring the bigger legs. Yeah, a little more legs for sure. His legs are pretty good. He's so wide. That's the situation with so many guys who have these clavicles out to here. You need to have thighs that are crazy sweeping out to the rafters to match those clavicles in that upper back that you have. Someone says it can go either way between Presti and Krizo. It's a close battle.
No.
No. Everyone's got their opinion. It's fine.
It's closer for second and third. I mean, I wouldn't have a fit if Wellington Nescau got second. I wouldn't object, but I do think Presti is in second. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
And I don't see that changing too much tonight. But what I do actually see tonight is I think Krizo is actually going to, like I said, it's going to widen the gap even more for tonight. I think he already dominated the prejudging. I think he's going to completely blow everyone off the stage tonight. I really do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This was a very exciting show today. Very exciting prejudging, something we haven't seen in a while. And this is not a dig at the other shows, but this was a refreshing bodybuilding show.
So said Emir spills over. You said that Emir spilled over.
I'd love to see him like 8 to 10 pound even lighter, because everything's there. He just, honestly, it looked like he was guest posing, to be honest. I hate to say it. It was guest posing condition. I mean, he looked to me, he looked a good 3 weeks out.
This is totally off topic from what we're talking about, but Urs Kalaczynski, the Miracle Bear. Someone wants to know if you've seen the pictures of Urs at 278 pounds.
Not 278.
There's no way. There's no way.
No. Don't add 50 pounds, Urs.
I mean, he's competing. No, I think Trigilli tried to say he was 278 or 280. And I'm like, no, he's not. Somebody did some bad metric conversion with that. Must have been me. Must have been me doing the math. Yeah, but I think they were just trying to get a conversation, make something out of nothing, saying he's too big for Classic. And I'm like, too big for Classic? He's still not even at the weight that he.
Exactly. He's the one who's got a few pounds to go. Was it 6, 8, 6, 7 pounds he's got still?
Yeah. So come on, relax, guys. Urs is not leaving Classic. He's not 278 pounds. I'm sorry. I love Urs. Love his physique. He's a great kid. He's not 278 pounds, unless he's just ate like a 25-pound dumbbell or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Roman is shredded. Can't be much leaner. He peaked for this. No, I've seen him sharper. Even in the pictures when he posted yesterday. I've definitely seen him sharper than this. I think he's another one that will be peaking in the next few shows. He looked good though. Looked very good. Looked very, very good. I think this was a really good showing for him.
Right on. Nescau top. It's Nescau. Yeah, that's how you say it. Like Nescau. That is Wellington's nickname. Top 2. He could be beating Andrea. We don't know. Someone wants to know, is Joan already posed? Everyone's already posed. We're just doing a recap, guys. So you can go back when this is over and rewind.
Joan did a really good pro debut here. I think he really did himself proud, actually. I think that's a guy to definitely keep an eye on for the next few years. I think he's going to be him and that Jose. But see that Jose, he wasn't massive, and he was so conditioned and balanced and everything. So, I mean, I think he's got 4th.
Now there's something maybe happened to Joan. He wasn't feeling well. Someone said he had to leave, and then in Spanish, ready for this?
Okay.
Alguien de España sabe si ha salido Joan. Does anyone know if he left? I don't know. No, we're not on scene, guys. We're actually all over the world. We're in Long Island, Boston, and Newcastle. Okay. So we're going to take a look at this new picture of Urs in the offseason. This is Urs Kalaczynski, the Miracle Bear, originally from Poland, now living. I don't see it yet. I think the YouTube's got a few second delay anyway, though. Okay, well, I'm not on the Zoom screen. Oh, I see it on the Zoom screen. Yeah. Is there a way to put that on the YouTube screen? Okay. Meanwhile, we're saying Krizo significantly improved back, also slightly waist, condition and tan is good enough, so definitely win. The question is, improvements for next Olympia. Okay, we're going to Urs finally. Check him out. Yeah, he's definitely put on some size, but this is I'd say that's a good 20, maybe 30 pounds over what he's going to be on stage. Because we know how lean he gets.
Yeah.
And I know what his face usually looks like. His face is usually about half that size.
Looks
And
totally
his head.
different though.
He's definitely bulked up.
Yep. Hands are good.
Oh, he looks thick as hell. Yeah, his legs were always phenomenal. We needed more upper body size, especially the arms. His arms do look like they're getting some good size now. But, you don't need the greatest arms in the world to win. We've seen guys. I mean, Bumstead's biceps are not the greatest, and he's dominating classic physique for the last 4 years in a row. It's a total package. So, Giles, what do you think Urs weighs here?
What does he weigh on stage?
I believe he's about 210 on stage.
He's probably about 245 there.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of weight. He's a light boned guy. He's not a big clunky boned, and he's about 5'11", 5'10", 5'11". So I mean, 250 pounds is a lot for a classic guy at that height.
Big kid.
Yeah, wish him the
It
best.
makes sense for him to go over 20, 30 pounds over, especially if you're classic. I mean, even if you're making weight comfortably like he does, it wouldn't be sensible for him to go completely way above the weight limit.
Oh, this is where my Spanish falls apart when they're having these conversations in the chat. Okay, someone says, I don't think he left. Poniendo is to do or is to put. He is putting images, but no looking for. My Spanish sucks. I should wake up.
That might
get
be
my wife.
Portuguese too.
No, I can tell it's Spanish, so I have no excuse. I can always, when it's Portuguese, I don't speak Portuguese, but this is, who is head judge here? Don't know.
Also, Ron, Lauren's doing all the female category review for Buff Bombshell. We're filming that tomorrow because I've got the live stream. She's going to review it and bring it all out.
Awesome.
So we'll record that tomorrow, get it out next Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate Lauren doing that because, when we do these, when we're doing them breaking news type things live, we typically do focus on open, sometimes open classic 212. Those are the divisions that typically garner the most interest. Yeah. But, the women work very, very hard. So I'm glad that Lauren is going to be doing a recap, a breakdown, and showcasing them because there was a lot of good female competitors in this one.
Now he looks like he's talking about something with Netflix.
Who is?
The aesthetics bodybuilding. Who is speaking in Spanish.
Plataforma como digamos Netflix de Cobra.
Yeah.
Oh, is this on?
Something
is this in the
about
chat?
Netflix, and I'm not sure what.
Oh, is this in the chat? Maybe I should try this. Oh wow, we've gone quite. Let's see. Pagaste, have you paid for official something to look in direct? What? I alegra mucho. I'm very happy to see a Spanish in the top of the championships. So he's happy to see the Spanish people doing well. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Siempre es un lío ver las competiciones. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 means ha ha ha, by the way. When you see they do with the Jays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope Krizo wins the event and they give him a dad bod award. Dad bod? Oh, he does have kids, so yeah.
Yeah, I think he's really delivered it. But how often do you see it when these guys with that much hype around them, I mean, really deliver and come back like 6-8 months later with something completely different on a completely different level. It's so impressive.
Yeah, and you know what? Props to him because he did not peak 100% for the Prague show last year. He was like 75% for the show he turned pro at.
Yeah.
81% at the Prague show that he won. And the Olympia like 90%.
Yeah.
Because he could have come into this at like 85, 90%, probably still won, realistically. Just because he's got that great, it's that good of a physique. But props to him and his coach, Alexander, not treating this as just a formality. We're just going to get our qualification out of the way. We're not going to really push it too hard. They came in proper. They did it right. So
good point. Good point.
They did. Absolutely.
Because we always say that. We've seen that so many times where I'm not calling him out, but Andrew Jack, when he won the Texas Pro last year, that wasn't 100% condition. It wasn't 100%, but it was damn good enough to win. He didn't need to be because he's got so much else going on in that physique. And Krizo, same thing. He's tall, great structure, great shape, incredible muscle separation detail. When you have that type of detail and separation, you can get away with being a little less conditioned sometimes and still pull it off. But no, they did the right thing and came in.
I'm very excited to see Andrew Jack versus Krizo at the Olympia because they were the two emerging superstars of 2022. Obviously, Andrew took 8th at Olympia. Krizo took 12th. But from what I'm seeing, Krizo has made more improvements than from what I've seen from Andrew Jacked this year. That's my observation. Let's see how Andrew Jack looks at the next couple of shows. It's Tampa and Texas is rumored. So it'd be interesting to see who's made the most improvements. And I've got a feeling it'll be Krizo.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell with Jack because he's still off season. I've been looking at the posing updates and stuff like that. It's hard to tell when they're still off season, but when he's in prep and he's a few weeks out, that's when we'll really know if these areas that we've been wanting to see improved on Jacked are up. But so far, Krizo's nailed it. He nailed it. Slovakia in the house. Okay. Let's see. Entonces Juan fuera on top 8. They're asking about Pacific. Wow. Guys, you really make me feel bad that I didn't keep up my Spanish because I should be able to read all this and translate. I feel like I suck now. What's this? I do want to know about the Netflix. So, a sex pilot. Está bien. It's good. I don't know what cobren means. Por video. And business as usual. Something looks like to see the quest, something the same as months of Netflix. Yeah, I suck, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try anymore. Any news on the Arnold UK? Are we having one next year, Giles?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And it's run by the Arnold themselves, not the promoter they were using, because it's been, there was a lot of controversy over the last 2 years with the Arnold, but it's the Arnold themselves from America that are organizing this one. So expect to see the biggest Arnold UK we've ever seen.
Do you know the month it's going to be in what city?
Is it March? Right after the Arnold's in America. It's on the Instagram. Go to Arnold. Go to Arnold Sports Instagram, and you'll see on there.
Yeah.
But, I'm sure it was March. I'm pretty sure it's March, like a couple of weeks after the American one, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. It sounds right to me. New management, new era. Arnold Sports UK, March 15th through 17th. Birmingham, NEC. Oh, that's
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah. You're not that. How far are you from Birmingham?
A couple of 2-3 hours.
Okay. That's right. I think you took the train there 10 years ago, 12 years ago, because we weren't going to be driving.
Oh, yeah,
much.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 2010.
Simon was driving us around, I believe, most of the time.
That's right.
Someone, S. McGee says, Andrew Jack only has to focus on his back. But I think big muscles like legs and back muscles are hard to grow at older ages. I mean, Andrew's older in the sense that he's 38, but he's still very young as a bodybuilder. He's only been like bodybuilding for a couple of years. He was doing CrossFit and all these other things for years and years.
Wow.
And then it was Larry Wheels that started training with them and convinced him to become a bodybuilder.
Crazy.
So when you say that someone's, it's hard for someone to grow back or legs at age 38. Yeah, if they've been training like a bodybuilder since they were 16 or something, yeah. But Andrew's still very young in training, what we call training age. He's still a very young man in terms of training age. It's just germs? Gems from across the planet, not germs. Oh, boy. All right. Ladies and germs. That's an old one. So I think we're going to wrap it up because we have the finals. They were supposed to start at this time. I assume they're gonna be backed up a little bit because they did get a 2-hour late start this morning? 2.5 hours. My goodness, you Spanish people. But as I was explaining, they were having difficulties. The server for the stream crashed because they got way more demand for pay-per-view buys, which is a good thing. But they fixed the situation. The stream looks good. One question: what happened with Joan? We don't know, guys. You're gonna have to. We're not there. We don't know what happened to him.
He's okay. It's bloody hot in that venue, I tell you. I mean, imagine up on those lights. I can imagine if competitors are, really cutting water and stuff like that. You've got to be careful in these really hot countries and hot venues like that. Because remember that girl died in 2021.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
A bodybuilder. She died the night before. So you got to be so careful. I mean, I was doing the live stream commentary, and by the time we got to the 212, I was starting to keel over. I was like, I was guzzling so much water, and that was just me sat there talking. I wasn't up there on stage flexing.
Right. Yeah, those lights are brutally hot. So if you have a room you said there's no air conditioning in that place?
It felt like there was no aircon in the venue. I mean, I hope they fixed it since, because I mean, it's going to be serious otherwise. It's a serious issue.
Got some dogs going crazy in the background. Anyway, okay. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to be coming back very soon. If you set your notifications and reminders on, you'll know when we're coming back for our finals report. Right now, it's looking like Krizo is going to win the show, but you never know in bodybuilding. Crazy things happen sometimes. We'll see, but it's right now he's looking like a very, very strong contender for this Empro Spain Pro title today and an Olympia qualification, which would be great to get that out of the way in June. Just relax for a couple months. Yeah. All right. So Jen, we'll wrap it up. If Giles, any parting words before we break for the finals?
No, I'm just very excited to see how they look tonight because, as you know, a few hours can make a big difference. It did for Krizo back in at the Prague show when I was there.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting him to look absolutely insane tonight. So I think that's what I'm most excited for. And I hope to see Presti maybe a little bit drier as well, because he seemed to improve even a few minutes into his posing, he looked better than when he first came out.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Well, we're going to find out very soon, guys. Luckily, they are 6 hours ahead in Spain of where I am. They're only 1 hour ahead of Giles. Giles is more on an actual timeline.
Yep.
It's 10 to 3 p.m. over there for you, Giles?
3:06.
3:06, yeah. So I don't back at 4. Yeah, they were supposed to be back right now, but something tells me they're not going to probably start the finals on time. Would be my guess.
Food and a sleep.
Yeah. All right. So have a little nap. All right. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching MD's coverage of the judging of the Empro Pro Spain show. Thanks to Giles Tiger Thomas and Jen Geraci, partners in coverage. And thank you all for participating, especially those of you who joined us in the chat. We'll be back very, very soon with the results of the Spain show. So keep it here, guys.